You've felt it. That hollow space after you finish speaking. A terrifying silence, not of respect, but of indifference. You tell a story you think is compelling, but the eyes of the person you're talking to are already scanning the room for someone else. You exist in the conversation, but you don't occupy it. You are a ghost at the table. Most people move through the world this way, apologizing for the space they take up, rushing their words as if they're stealing someone else's time. They live in a state of quiet desperation, hoping to be noticed, praying to be respected. They believe the answer is to be louder, to talk more, to have a flashier story. But this only screams neediness, and neediness is the enemy of respect. But then, there are others. People who enter a room and the very air seems to thicken around them. They move with a different rhythm. They speak with a different cadence. They possess an invisible gravity that pulls attention effortlessly. They don't chase respect. They are a force that respect must orbit. What is the difference? It is not charisma, not looks, not wealth. It is a fundamental shift in presence. It is a principle you can decide to adopt once, and it will change how people treat you forever. This isn't about learning 1,000 tricks. It's about mastering one philosophy, the principle of unhurried presence. Part 1. The economy of motion. The body of a predator. The first layer of unhurried presence is physical. Watch how people move. The overlooked, the anxious, the low-status individual, their movements are quick, jerky, and inefficient. They fidget, they tap their feet, they adjust their clothes. Their body language screams, "I am not comfortable in my own skin." They move like prey, alert, skittish, ready to flee. Now, think of a predator, a lion, a wolf, an eagle. Their movements are deliberate, economical, and confident. There is no wasted energy. This is the physical signature of power, and human beings are wired to recognize it on a primal level. Imagine a high-stakes legal meeting. A junior associate, Tom, rushes in, fumbling with his papers, quickly pulling out his chair with a loud scrape and pouring water so fast it sloshes over the side. His movements broadcast anxiety. Then, the senior partner, Ms. Albright, enters. She closes the door softly behind her. She walks to her seat with a calm, measured pace. She places her leather briefcase on the table with a soft, definitive click. She pours a glass of water slowly, deliberately. She makes no sudden moves. Before she says a single word, her unhurried movements have declared who is in control of the room. She has demonstrated high status through pure economy of motion. The ancient Zen masters understood this. They taught that every action, from drinking tea to drawing a sword, should be performed with total, unhurried presence. This isn't just about looking calm, it's about inhabiting a state of mind where you are the master of your own physical space. As the Zen proverb goes, the only time is now, the only place is here. By moving deliberately, you force your mind and the attention of others into the present moment, a place you command. Part 2. The economy of words. The power of the pause. If the body reveals our comfort, our words reveal our confidence. The person who fears being ignored will rush to fill every available silence. They talk fast, they use filler words. Like, you know. And they often end their sentences with a slight upward inflection, turning a statement into a subconscious plea for approval. This is verbal fidgeting. Unhurried presence demands an economy of words. This is where we find the famous power of the pause. Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, wrote, "The ultimate in disposing one's troops is to be without ascertainable shape. Then the most penetrating spies cannot pry in, nor can the wise lay plans against you." While he spoke of armies, the principle applies to conversation. When you are predictable, rushing to answer, always filling silence. You are an open book. Your neediness is your shape. But when you master the pause, you become formless. You become a mystery. Think of a skilled therapist or a high-stakes FBI negotiator. A client or a suspect makes a provocative statement. An amateur would jump in immediately to rebut or ask a question. The master remains silent for 2, 3, even 4 seconds. This unhurried response does 3 terrifyingly effective things. It conveys unshakable confidence. It signals, "Your words do not provoke me. I am in control of my own emotional state." It creates a vacuum that the other person feels compelled to fill. Often, they will nervously elaborate on their statement, revealing more information than they ever intended. It makes the subsequent words incredibly powerful. When the master finally speaks, their words land with the weight of careful deliberation, not anxious reaction. The Greek philosopher Socrates was a master of this. He would ask a simple question and then wait, allowing his opponent to talk their way into contradictions. His power was not in what he said, but in the deliberate, questioning silence he commanded. Part 3. The unreactive mind, the inner citadel. This is the final and most important layer. Unhurried motion and unhurried speech are simply the external reflections of an unhurried mind. If you are internally chaotic, you will never be able to fake external calm convincingly. The decision to do this once is the decision to cultivate an unreactive internal state. This is the core teaching of Stoicism. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He called this the inner citadel, a fortress of calm within you that no external event can breach. You're in a team meeting, and a colleague publicly challenges your data, perhaps with a slightly insulting tone. The reactive person, the prey, immediately becomes defensive. Their heart rate spikes, their voice gets higher, they rush to justify themselves. They have let the attack dictate their emotional state. They have lost. The unreactive person, the practitioner of unhurried presence, does something different. They hear the challenge. They feel the initial emotional spike, but they simply observe it. They take a deliberate breath. They pause. They might even meet the colleague's aggressive gaze with a calm, neutral expression. Then, they respond slowly and logically. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's look at the data source together after the meeting to ensure we're aligned. They have not been provoked. They have not been pulled into a fight on someone else's terms. They have demonstrated that their inner peace is more powerful than any external attack. There is no more definitive way to command respect. This is what it means to be untouchable. Why this principle is so powerful. This isn't just philosophy. It's rooted in deep human and evolutionary psychology. Predator versus prey. As we discussed, predators are calm, deliberate, and energy efficient. Prey are fast, twitchy, and reactive. When you are unhurried, you are subconsciously signaling to everyone around you that you are not prey. You are not threatened. You are the threat, or at least someone who cannot be threatened. The perception of time. High-status individuals appear to own their time. They are not rushed by others' agendas. When you pause, when you move slowly, you are non-verbally stating that your time is more valuable than the other person's desire for a quick response. You are setting the frame. The scarcity principle. In psychology, we value things that are scarce. When you speak less, but with more deliberation and impact, your words gain immense value. When you are less available to be provoked, your approval and attention become a scarce resource that people will work to earn. The unreactive person, the practitioner of unhurried presence, does something different. They hear the challenge. They feel the initial emotional spike, but they simply observe it. They take a deliberate breath. They pause. They might even meet the colleague's aggressive gaze with a calm, neutral expression. Then, they respond slowly and logically. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's look at the data source together after the meeting to ensure we're aligned. They have not been provoked. They have not been pulled into a fight on someone else's terms. They have demonstrated that their inner peace is more powerful than any external attack. There is no more definitive way to command respect. This is what it means to be untouchable. The challenge. Your first step. Mastering this principle is a lifelong practice, but you can begin to see results today. The one thing you can do is start with the smallest component. The 2-second pause. The next time you are asked a question, any question, by anyone, do not answer immediately. Take a full 2 seconds, inhale, make eye contact, and then answer. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is the feeling of you reclaiming your power. The deliberate object. Choose one object you interact with daily. Your coffee mug, your office door, your car keys. Every time you touch it, do so with deliberate, unhurried motion. Place the mug down silently. Turn the doorknob slowly. Feel its weight. This tiny practice trains your nervous system to be calm instead of reactive. Embrace. One silence. In your next conversation, allow a silence to hang. Don't fill it. Just watch what the other person does. See how they rush to close the gap. In that moment, you will understand who controls the frame. The world will not give you respect because you ask for it, or because you deserve it. It is a currency that is paid only to those who demonstrate, through their very presence, that they do not need it. The hurried man is a slave to the world's rhythm. He is reactive, anxious, and ultimately forgotten. The unhurried man sets his own rhythm. He is deliberate, calm, and sovereign. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to shed the layers of anxiety that cause you to rush. Make the decision, just once, to inhabit this principle of unhurried presence. Start with a single pause, a single deliberate movement, a single moment of unreactive calm. Be the rock in the river. Be unhurried, and watch as the world, finally recognizing a center of gravity, rearranges itself around you.